I just loved it immediately. Like, I love the humor, I love like the dark comedy, I love how tragic it is, even though you're laughing and crying at the same time. And I love stories of like star-crossed lovers and people who just kind of can't get it together, even though they're kind of meant to be together.
The fall 2012 theater season is coming to a close here at Brooklyn College, and it's just about time for the final show of the semester. Gruesome Playground Injuries, from playwright Rajiv Joseph, was performed in 2010 and 2011 at the Second Stage Theater, starring Pablo Schreiber and Jennifer Carpenter. Here at Brooklyn College, MFA student Gretchen Van Lente is directing the show, and it'll star Brett Richard Hoskins and Anastasia Bell.
I'm Gretchen Van Lente. I'm the director of Gruesome Playground Injuries.
How long have you been involved in theater?
I've been involved in theater for a long time. I, was one of those kids who did it in high school, and then when I went to college, I ended up becoming an undergrad, a BA, getting a BA in theater, and then I realized I liked directing, and I started doing that professionally outside of school, and then I decided to come back and get my graduate degree here at Brooklyn College. I'm from outside of Cleveland. That's where I went to, high school and everything, where I grew up. My parents still live there, and I moved out here in 1994 to go to school.
Come here, Anna Banana.
Okay. Anastasia Bell.
And Brett Richard Hoskins.
And you guys are playing which parts?
Kayleen.
And Doug.
Okay. And how long have you guys been acting?
Since freshman year of high school, so how many years is that? Like 6 years for me? 7 years.
When did I quit? Oh. No, because I was a jock, so I quit sports for theater. And that was, I'm pretty sure, 8th, 9th grade.
What'd you play?
I was a wrestler. I played baseball. I did some rec football. I did tennis. I did soccer.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a jock.
Well, the first semester of our MFA directing program, you work on a scene, a contemporary scene with actors from the program, a two-person scene. And I picked one of the scenes from the play, just happened to, and cast them to be in the scene. And then when it came time to pick my thesis production, this was one of the choices, and everyone agreed this was the best play for me to do. And then I had auditions, and I didn't know if I was going to cast them or not, but then I ended up casting the same two people that did the scene with me. So it's kind of a coincidence.
Tell me about how you first got involved with this play.
A year ago in Gretchen's directing class, we did a scene from it, and so we started working on it then, and we were only doing one scene, and then Gretchen chose it for her thesis production, and then auditions rolled around, and we were all hoping that we would get to do the whole play, and we did, because she cast us, so yeah.
It's been going really good. I mean, it's lovely to have a play that only has 2 actors in it, because they're, you don't have to worry about scheduling kind of wacky schedules and stuff. It's just both of them show up every time. And so there's not really thinking about that. You can work whatever you want to work at any moment. It doesn't matter. So it's been really great. But at the same time, there's only 2 actors. If one of them isn't feeling well, like Brett got bronchitis, and we can't have rehearsal without him. So we just had to cancel rehearsal once. So, there's pros and cons to it. But overall, it's been great. I mean, I already had a relationship with them, and everyone else on the team has been really great. So it's been going really well.
You guys have to do a lot of stuff besides act. You have to almost be like a crew member. You have to move stuff around. You have to apply your own makeup in between scenes, and you have to do that several times throughout the play. How does that change your job as an actor?
I think it actually helps. Because, I mean, with the transitions and everything, we're finding those moments where it's, we're finding how are they leading each other through their own story? How are they using each other to remember all the good and the bad moments throughout their lives? And I think the transitions and moving it and setting the world how we live in it and everything, it creates a stronger, I don't want to say bubble, but...
Well, it does, and while we're in the transitions, we're thinking about the last time we saw each other and what this is going to be like. And we're using it sort of like these are memories, and so we're like rebuilding our memories in our mind, which is really cool. It's difficult, but it's cool.
Does the fact that there's so much kind of, makeshift behind-the-scenes stuff happening on stage, is that part of what appeals to you as well?
I think so. I think like the very theatricality. I don't really like naturalistic plays and that are like supposed to be real life on stage. Like, duh, it's the theater. Like we know that that's not real. What's happening? And I think it's interesting that this really plays with that. Like the playwright says in notes in the beginning of the play that all the transitions should happen on stage. So I knew that I had to work that in, and I knew that was going to be a really interesting aspect of the show.
What do you guys think of the way the play is coming together?
I had the most fun, honestly, on this show than I've had in any other show, and that's because Gretchen isn't like, she's not a director that just tells you her opinion, like tells you what to do. She tells you her opinion, asks you your opinion, and then basically says, okay, keep both those things in mind and just go with it, play with it, see what you find. And I highly respect directors who allow actors that kind of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact that they're young and less experienced, does that offer you like the opportunity to kind of mold them more into the way you want them to perform?
Well, I mean, that definitely is something, there's something to be said for that, because they haven't gotten stuck in any kind of ways or like ideas about what directors are, or whether they're bad or good or whatever. And I think also they were even younger when we did the scene, so they already had this idea of me being an authority figure and respecting me and my opinions on everything, so kind of that helped coming into this rehearsal process.
They both said that they really enjoyed working with you because they feel like... because they feel like you're a little more easygoing than like some of the other directors they've worked with. Is that something you try to do, or do you think that's just your natural personality?
I think it's both. I mean, that is my natural personality, but at the same time I also realize that working on a show like this can be stressful and like, so it's called a play for a reason. We're using our imaginations, we're playing make-believe. It should be fun.
You go.
It's not a love story that ends all happy-dappy, mushy-gushy. It's pretty much how real life goes most of the time. Soulmates meet, and then they don't end up together.
And what do you think your peer watching this would get out of this?
I think everyone can relate to this, especially, older people, younger people, everyone in between, because, it spans 30 years of these people's lives. So and there's moments in it that everyone has, like in the 13-year-old scene, there's a slow dance where we have no idea what we're doing, and that's a moment that everyone can think back and say, wow, I remember my 8th grade dance and what that was like. First kiss, all of these things people can relate to.
The play's really trying to say is that if you really want something, you should be able to say it out loud and be honest about it, so that you don't lose it. So hopefully they'll go away thinking, oh, maybe I'll go call that friend I've lost touch with, who I really felt a connection with, but just have completely lost track of and have been lazy and haven't done it or whatever. Because I think that's really what it's about, is making sure you stay connected with people if they're important to you. I feel like maybe you know someone who hurts themselves, or you know someone who's in pain, and maybe you want to reach out to them. Maybe it's, a wake-up call to see what am I doing to help my friend and what could I do more.